Students can multiply matrices but don't know how to undo them. For example, how do you reverse a matrix transformation? So by the end of this video, you'll be able to calculate inverses and use them to reverse matrix operations. So what is an identity matrix? Okay, so firstly, we'll talk about the identity matrix is basically similar to multiplying by 1, okay, in algebra. So we know that when we multiply anything by 1, we get the same number. So x times 1 equals x. Now for a matrix A, for example, or any matrix, multiply that by the identity matrix. You're always going to get the same matrix that you originally had, okay? And we can swap that order around as well. We can do I times A is equal to A as well, okay? Because we know that matrices, most of the time we can't swap out the order when multiplying matrices, but we can with the identity matrix because we're just essentially multiplying. If this was a 2 by 2 matrix, then our identity matrix would be also a 2 by 2 as well, obviously, because that's how we can multiply that through. So it's always going to be a square matrix with just ones down the horizontal from top left to top right, okay? So let's do a worked example when we're multiplying by the identity. Okay, so if you want to do this manually as well, you can have a look and see it for yourself, how the identity matrix just brings out the same matrix. So let's do row 1, column 1, so 2 times 1 plus 3 times 0, and then row 1, column 2, so that's going to be 2 times 0 plus 3 times 1, okay? And row 2, column 1, so 1 times 1 plus 4 times 0, and row 2, column 2 is 1 times 0 plus 4 times 1. So we can see there that there's a lot of multiplication by 0, but all that multiplication by 0 leads us to just being left with the original matrix, okay? If you look at that, so that's going to be the same thing there. So that means that A times I equals A. Okay, now let's learn more about the inverse formula. So it's a bit more, it's more complex, this one. So the inverse of a matrix, or undoing the matrix, involves raising it to the power of -1, but how we actually do it is a bit different. So the determinant of a matrix is actually equal to AD minus BC, okay? So say we have a matrix, right? It's a 2 by 2 matrix, so we have A, B, C, and D like this, okay? So horizontally across from row by row, so A, B, C, D. Now, the determinant is equal to A times D minus B times C. So this is our determinant, okay? And to inverse a matrix, we do 1 over the determinant multiplied, so that's a scalar quantity now, multiplied by a matrix which swaps around A and D, their spots, and negates B and C. So B and C stays in their same spot, but we negate or change the sign of that value, okay? So note here that a matrix only has an inverse if the determinant of the matrix, which we're saying is A, for example, is not equal to 0. Because if we have a determinant that's equal to 0, then that means the fraction here will have a denominator of equal to 0, and we know that's undefined. We can't divide by 0 and get a real value. So let's do a worked example here. So step 1 is to always calculate the determinant, because we need to know whether this matrix actually exists when we inverse it. So the determinant of, we have our matrix A is equal to AD minus BC. Now let's label our numbers here. So A equals 2, B equals 1, C equals 3, and D equals 4. So that's going to equal to 2 times 4 minus 1 times 3 equals 8 minus 3 equals 5. Now that's not equal to 0, which is good because that means that we can actually have an inverse matrix to this matrix A. So the inverse matrix Remember, our formula is going to be 1 over the determinant, okay, or AD minus BC. Multiply that, that's a scalar quantity, multiply it by D, negative C, negative B, and A. So basically swapping the A and D positions and negating, that should be, I think, B and negative C there, because we're not swapping those around. Yep. So that's going to be 1 over 5 multiplied by, swap those A and D, so that's going to be 4 and 2 here, and then negate our rest of our values, so negative 1 and negative 3. Okay, and now from that, we can just multiply that through, or we can just keep it as that inverse there. We don't have to necessarily multiply that 3 because it's already, I guess, simplified for us. Okay, so let's now verify the inverse now. So we got this as our inverse, okay? And we have our original matrix here. So this is matrix A, okay? And this is our inverse, so this entire thing here. Now, if we multiply our inverse and our original matrix, and we get the value equal to the identity matrix, that means that we are verifying, or we know that we got our inverse calculation correct, okay? Because that is the rule when we multiply that through, okay? Cool, so let's have a go. So let's keep our first original matrix the same for now, but let's multiply our scalar quantity through, so that's going to be 4 over 5, negative 1 over 5. Or actually, I think a better solution and much easier to get and less mistakes is to just put the scalar quantity outside and then multiply the whole numbers together, because that will be easier. So I'm taking out the 1/5, okay, because I don't want to be multiplying fractions through 4 times and across the matrix using the rows and columns, because that is easier to make mistakes. So because I know that this is just a scalar quantity, I can just move that out and multiply that at the end. So I have 2, 1, 3, 4. So I'll rewrite it neatly here for you guys. Two, 1, 3, 4, and 4, negative 1, negative 3, 2. Okay, and that's going to be, if I multiply just these two matrices, that's going to give me, okay, so row 1, column 1, 2 times 4 plus 1 times negative 3. Row 1, column 2, 2 times negative 1 plus 2 times 1. Row 2, column 1, 3 times 4 plus 4 times negative 3. And row 2, column 2, 3 times negative 1 plus 4 times 2. Okay, so let's have a look now. So we have a fifth of 8 plus negative 3 is 5. And 2 times negative 1 plus 2 times 1 is going to give me 0. And then we can see the pattern here. So 12 minus 12 is 0. And 3 times negative 1, negative 3 plus 8 is 5. So we can see here, when we scale that factor by a fifth, we get our identity matrix. Okay, so that has verified the inverse that we are correct there. Okay, so that's really good. So some core principles now, just as a whole of our reversal. We need the determinant because it determines the invertibility, or whether we can inverse our matrix. So a non-zero value unlocks the inverse. Now the inverse, the actual inverse, or doing the undo, reverses the effect of matrix multiplication. Okay, and the identity is the preserver. Okay, it's like the neutral state that confirms a successful reversal. Okay, so we'll never just have 0 as our matrix when we undo it. We'll have the identity matrix, which is 1 across from top left to top right, bottom right, diagonally, and all zeros in the rest of the spaces. So these are some common mistakes to highlight so you guys won't make them. So a trap is in the determinant is forgetting it completely or forgetting to subtract. So they may do AD plus BC, but actually it's AD minus BC. Okay, so it needs to be AD minus BC. So it's really essential. The formula strictly demands subtraction, so make sure you do that properly. The swap error, okay, so take really your time when you're swapping your matrices because they can be easily mistaken. So only swap the main diagonal, okay? So main diagonal I'm talking about is this diagonal here. So from top left to bottom right. So only swap those two and then only flip the signs on the anti-diagonal, okay? So do those signs there on the anti-diagonal, so negate them. And also, as I mentioned, fraction phobia, okay? So as I said, that trick there to actually keep the fraction at the end of the calculation actually makes it a bit easier because now you're just working with full whole numbers in the beginning and then you just easily get something beautiful like this, 5005, and then you can just know that instantly that you got the identity matrix if you just factor out the fraction here at the end. Okay, so make sure that you are distributing the scalar fraction and not making sure you're not making any errors arithmetically. So again, this is the technique. Treat the scalars separately before the final multiplication steps. Okay. So let's do some practice now. So we'll start from the basics and go more advanced. So identify the 2 by 2 identity matrix from the standard definitions. So if we have a 2 by 2, our main diagonal is going to have 1, and then everything else is going to be 0. Right, so 1, 0, 0, 1 there is the identity matrix. Now let's compute A by I. So we know that the formula is A times I is equal to A. So I know that A times I is just going to give me A. Okay, I don't have to rewrite that, and I've already shown you the manual calculation for that. Okay, but just know that rule. Now for intermediate, let's find the inverse now. So let's remember our formula. So A inverse is equal to 1 over AD minus BC. And then D and A swapped, and negative B, negative C is negated there. So we have 1 over 1 times 5 minus 2 times 3. And then swap our D and A, so 5 and 1 here, and then negative 2, negative 3. I've negated those numbers. Is equal to 1 over 5 minus 6. Okay. And then 5, negative 2, negative 3, 1. Okay, I'm moving up here now. Is equal to 1 over negative 1, which is just negative 1. I'll just do that in the next step. 5, negative 2, negative 3, 1. Okay, and that's going to give me negative of everything. I could have just simplified and negated every single term, because remember that minus is a scalar factor, so I need to do that for every single term. So negative 5, positive 2, positive 3, negative 1. So that is, I guess, the simplest version of the inverse of that matrix. Okay. So let's verify that A times the inverse of A is equal to I for the matrix from the previous step. Okay, so we have the same matrix here. So now we have to multiply A times the inverse that we got. So A times A inverse equals I. So that's our rule that we're trying to verify. So prove that. Now we just do the left hand side. So 1, 2, 3, 5 multiplied by negative 5, 2, 3, negative 1. So that's my left hand side there. And then I multiply that through, so that's going to give me row 1, column 1. 1 times -5 plus 2 times 3. Next, row 1, column 2, 1 times 2 plus 2 times -1. Row 2, column 1, 3 times -5 plus 5 times 3. Row 2, column 2, 3 times 2 plus 5 times -1. Okay, so move up here now. So that first number is going to give me -5 plus 6 is 1. 1 times 2 plus 2 times -1 is 0. 3 times -5, -15 plus 15 is 0. And 3 times 2, 6, minus 5 is 1. Okay, so that is the identity matrix, which is equals to the right-hand side. So therefore, proven, okay, or verified, as that's what the question asks us to do, is to verify that. Okay, so this is just an extension. So what if the determinant is equal to 0? Okay, so how do we interpret that? Okay, so these are the unreversible matrices. We call that a singular matrix. Okay, so the determinant of the matrix is equal to 0. The rows and columns are dependent, and the matrix is singular, non-invertible. Okay. So let's calculate the determinant of this now. So we have AD minus BC is the determinant. Okay, so that's equal to 2 times 2 minus 4 times 1. That's equal to 0. So therefore, we would say that this matrix 2, 4, 1, 2 is a singular matrix. The rows, columns are dependent, and the matrix is singular, okay, or non-invertible. So as an exit question, let's find the inverse of this value now. So again, that's going to be 1 over the determinant of A, if we let this matrix equal to A, times dA on the, we've swapped those, and then minus B minus C here. So 1 over 3 times 1 minus 2 times 1, and swap 1, 3, -1, -2. Okay, so 1 over 3 minus 2, which is going to give me 1, which is quite nice, because now I don't have to really multiply any scalar, because that's just going to give me 1, so I can just cancel that out. I'm left with my, just the matrix that I've swapped around there. So that's the inverse there, 1, -1, 2, and 3, which is quite nice. Okay. I'm just checking in my head now that that's going to give me well, I can check and verify just to make sure. I have 3, 1, 2, 1 multiplied by 1, -1, 2, 3, which is my said inverse matrix, and make sure that's equal to I. So I'll just do the first couple of numbers. So that's going to give me 3 plus 1 times 2 -2 here. Yep. So 3 plus 1 times, 3 times 1 plus 1 times -2. So it's definitely be 1, so that's good. 3 times -1, -3 plus 3 is 0. 2 times 1 plus 1 times -2 is 0. 2 times -1, -2 plus 3 is 1. Yep, so that's definitely going to be verified as the correct inverse. 1, -1, and -2. So I forgot that negative there. So don't make that mistake in the exam, but really check. So that's the importance now of verifying, because I didn't know that I missed a negative, but if I didn't verify that, then I wouldn't have realized. So that's a clear example of why you have to verify always, because very easy. You can be super smart, but it's easy to forget those negatives. Can be tricky sometimes. All right, so I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and yeah, always check your answer and verify. It's the best way to go about this.